Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Sunday morning. It's been a wet weekend here so far for us. We had a lot of rain yesterday. Finally, after weeks of just no rain, garden just dried up, withering away. We've had a good amount of rain in the last at least 24 hours or so, 24, 36 hours. And like somebody said with gardening, don't give up. We'll continue to do what we can. It does look like things are about a month ahead. And I've heard other people talk about this, even in other states, that, it's July, what is it, July 21st right now. And the way the garden and even other stuff outside, the grass, everything, the trees, it looks like we're about at least a month ahead of where we normally are. It looks like the way the garden looks like it's late August. But the only thing we're getting right now is okra. And usually we'll get okra until the first frost, so that's kind of where we are. We're still getting some beans, some peas. What else? I'm probably forgetting something. We're still getting blueberries, and they're good. So yeah, it's been a disappointment, but we don't give up. We keep at it. That's how we learn. That is how we learn. Okay. Uh, I'm going to talk about several different things. I'm going to talk about more thoughts about this big IT outage that is apparently still going on. I'm going to give you some thoughts about that. Also, another little segment I'm going to layer in about things I've noticed as I get older. Mrs. Dawg has a birthday coming up very soon here. And, now mine's not until January, but I still, you think about how we're both 59 years old and we're pushing 60. So, you start looking at the world a little differently and things change, so I'll add a couple things to that part or give you a couple more thoughts on that. Is Biden in? Is Biden out? Yeah, well, I'll touch on that. I know everybody's talking about it. And I will show you a very good prep item that Mrs. Dog got, and it's not very expensive. It's not very expensive, but I think it's very good to have in this day and time. I think you'll agree. I'll show that here in a minute. I also have a very good passage that I will share with you, so to stay tuned for that. Um, I may have more than one passage. I don't know. It just depends on how I feel there. Um, sometimes I change things up on the fly. Y'all know this. Had a comment from somebody about, well, I don't know, maybe 2 videos ago. I can't keep up. To the effect of, and it was complimented. It was like, Mr. Dog, I don't understand why you don't have more people watching you. Why do you don't have many more thousands of subscribers or views and whatnot? And one of the replies to that from another person said it's because he's a holy roller and he talks about Jesus and he thumps and throws the Bible at you and all this kind of stuff. I mean, obviously, this person watches and read through the comments enough to reply to that because it wasn't like a first comment, it was deep down into the comments. I mean, you really had to scroll through and read that to reply to that. I will address that. I'm not going to stop doing what I do. To me, that's more validation than anything. If I would rather read scripture, and I do that towards the end of the video, but sometimes I still talk about faith throughout a video sometimes, or I pepper it in there. I don't think I thump the Bible at people or put it in your face. I don't get out the bullhorn and say, you're going to hell. I don't do that. I don't think that's the way to attract people to the faith. Um, I like to be open and invitational. If you are not a Christian, you are very welcome to be here. I mean, really, I you're welcome here. Ask questions if you want. If you don't, that's fine. Uh, that I want to make that clear. And if you have questions or want to make a comment, I just ask, just as anybody else here, to be respectful, to not go in an attack mode or anything like that, or attack other commenters, because I will dispatch you quickly. It only takes like 2 clicks, you're gone. And I've had to do that a lot lately. The troll count is really more than ever. And I think that speaks to how we are in such a spiritual battle right now, like no other, like I've said before. The demons are out like I haven't seen in my lifetime, so I mean, social media can bring that out too, but uh, I think we're in a different time now. I really think we are. But anyway, like I said, if you are, even if you're other religion, if you're interested in the content, please, you're welcome to be here. I mean, really. So I just want to make that clear. But like I was going to say, I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. If you don't like it, you can scroll on. You can go somewhere else, of course. But I'm not going to stop reading scripture and talking about the faith. I would rather have 5 subscribers and 5 viewers and talk about the faith than to not do that and have 500,000 and million subscribers. I mean, really, I honestly can say that. I will not stop what I'm doing. Okay. All right. Now, I think what we've been seeing going on the last couple of, I don't know, since Friday, I guess, with this outage, they call it, the big outage, the big IT outage is global. It's not just in one spot. Now, the the outlets and the explanation keeps saying that this was because of an update, a patch. I don't believe that. I will say again, I don't believe that. This is global. I think what we're seeing is a test run for November, or even sooner than November, maybe October. um, I'm still seeing, and yesterday I was seeing some stories about, and I see videos and pictures from Atlanta International Airport. That looked like a nightmare, and I don't know if it still is to this hour. From what I hear different things. Even this morning when I was reading through and looking through some stuff, I hear people saying it's still a nightmare. I hear other people saying I flew out, everything's fine, the airlines are back up and running. I hear conflicting things. I'm not there, so I don't know for sure. But there apparently is still problems, especially with transportation, with the airlines. So, and this is just since Friday. Can you imagine if this is something that hits and affects a lot more systems? Now, we went out and about. I mean, Mrs. Dawg and I went out, uh, filling some holes in preps and going to some stores, several of them. We didn't have a problem paying for anything, or our electronics have been fine, or internet and all that, laptop, whatever, all the devices are okay. We never had a problem with it. I know at my work on Friday and Mrs. Dog's work, there was some impact, but we were still able to work. However, I'm hearing, gosh, a lot of people were affected by this all over the place. So I believe it is a test run. I believe that, uh, can you imagine something like this that affects, oh, I don't know, like voting machines? Uh, Leading up, especially into October, November, maybe even sooner, that is a long-term outage, problem. Can you even imagine? So I think even more makes a better argument to go back to paper or go back to the way it used to be. The Chad, you just kind of punched a hole in the person you wanted to vote for, and you dropped it in a box. So, but I believe we could see something like that, and the way we are such a tinderbox right now, that something like that, it, it wouldn't take much to turn it all sideways. It's even more the reason to keep up your preparations. Do not get complacent, especially now. It's time to really, really shore up and really keep it going. We talk about that a lot, I know. But keep your fuel tanks full. Um, it's your basics, your basic prep things, your water, your food, and all that kind of stuff that we talk about often. I did see where, and this is interesting. 1 out of 3, it is estimated that 1 out of 3 Democrats believe that the Trump assassination was faked. It was all staged. you know, I believe that. I believe that stat is probably about real. I think it's satanic deception. I think we are seeing mass psychosis, and uh, I don't know if we're going to get through all this peacefully. I just really don't. That sounds terrible. It sounds very pessimistic. But only one side comes out on top here, and I don't think that's. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be peaceful. I think we're going to see unrest and violence, and hopefully it's not widespread. Pray not. Maybe I hope I'm praying I'm wrong about all that. But just based on what we're seeing, that's my thought. You know, can you imagine all a situation to where there's a widespread outage, internet, period, all systems, no flights going out for days, can't pay for things with a credit card, debit card, keep some cash out. You can't vote. Oh, we got to delay things. What are you going to do? People are going to be pissed. People are going to take it out on whoever. Remember, you have to go gray. We'll talk more about that as we get closer to the event. You know, so okay. Other things I've noticed as I get older, and it's funny. I was about to say this, and I'm hearing right now. You probably can't hear it on the video, but a neighbor has. It sounds like a yard, a landscape, like a lawnmower or something, which is still wet out there. So I don't like to cut grass when it's wet. But anyway, I think I hear a neighbor doing it right now. But anyway, that's one of the things, especially as a guy, when you hear the neighbor cutting grass, it's almost kind of like that keeping up with the Joneses thing, like I still catch myself like, how's my grass looking? Maybe I need to get out there and do it before the day's over. Maybe I need to crank mine up too. But I'm not as much like that as I used to be 20 years ago. It's like my grass is fine now. It's a little long. I can get it tomorrow. I can get it tonight. I can get it tomorrow night. Keeping up with the Joneses is another thing that I think when we're younger, that's more of a deal. I don't know. That's just the way I am now. I know a lot of older people are still like that. I don't like if I see it, see a neighbor drive down the road in a brand new truck. That's nice. It looks really good. I don't have to have that. Just things like that. Like, oh, that's not, oh, what can we do? What can we do to, oh, we need to put up a few more Christmas decorations to keep up with that one. No, don't need to do that. Don't have to do that. Don't want to do that. So that's something I've noticed as I get older. Another thing is trust. Now, trust is earned. It's like the older I get, the less I believe what I hear. Is that bad? Tell me, y'all. What do y'all think? Especially when it comes from politicians, people in charge, government, at all levels, local, all the way up. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. No. Now, I know there are some honest ones in there. I know. I get it. I think they're very, very few. Very, very few. And a lot of them go in with good intentions, get corrupted. That's sad. They're human. They're human. Even Trump, even people we know we're going to vote for, they're human. They have problems. They're not honest all the time. Who are you going to choose though? You want 4 more years of what you've had? I don't. I do not. I'm going to vote for the felon this time. Yeah, I trust the felon more. The other one should be a felon. He is one, really. All right, enough of that. I digress. I digress. Um, anyway, the more I don't trust. Do I believe? And more I don't believe. Do I believe a 20-year-old kid pulled off that thing last week? No, no. It might have been involved, but there were other things in play. Put it that way. Do I believe that a software update caused all this outage mayhem? No, I don't. I could be wrong, but I still don't believe it. If that makes any sense. Um, you know, but the material things aren't as important, y'all. They're just not as important to me anymore. Yeah, nice stuff is cool. It's gonna fade though. It's gonna rust. It's gonna fall apart. It's not as big a deal. Keep up, repair, keep up what you have. Miss Dawg got us updated atlas. What if GPS goes down? I tell you, if GPS went down, a lot of people, and I know I'm picking on the young people, not everybody, but uh, a lot of people under the age of 40 would be lost and get lost and not know where to drive to. I think it's good to keep in practice maps, even things like uh, just simple things like that, or compass. We have to keep some things that are simple, that are old or old technology. Because we just don't know. We're over reliance on electronics and technology can burn us and will burn us at some point, I believe. So something to keep in mind. They're not that expensive. Keep one handy. Keep one in the vehicle. Keep a map in the hand. Updated one in your vehicle, among other things. All right, I'm gonna go to a passage. It is from Romans. I've been in Romans. I've been reading Romans some lately. This one I don't think I've read before. Romans, we're in, let's see, chapter 13 of Romans. Love, for the day is near, is the kind of the heading of this section. But in chapter 13, it talks about starting at about, I don't know, verse 10. Love does no harm to its neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfillment of the law. And do this understanding the present time. The hour has come for you to wake up from your slumber, because our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed. The night is nearly over, the day is almost here, so let us put aside the deeds of darkness and put on the armor of light. Put on the armor of light. Amen. I like the way that is put that way. There's a lot of darkness around. We need to keep on the armor of God, the armor of light, all we got. Because every way we turn, every which way we turn, evil is there. All you got to do is turn on the radio or TV and you're going to get slammed with it. Or just walk outside, or even in your errands, you see crazy stuff. So let's stay calm. Let's stay aware of what's going on around us and keep our wits about us, and keep our composure. Keep focused. Okay. Share your thoughts. Stay close to Jesus. God bless you. I'll see you soon.